Before the dinosaurs roared, before the first forests reached for the sky, even before the first bones were fossilized, our planet was a battlefield. A dark, watery battlefield dominated by soft-bodied weirdos, squishy aliens, locked in a silent, global war. Imagine swimming through an ocean where the most terrifying creature looks like a giant shrimp with circular saws for arms, or where spiky, stilt-walking worms patrol the seafloor. This was Earth 500 million years ago. For 3 billion years, life was well boring, just single-celled blobs. So what happened? What lit the fuse that triggered the single greatest explosion of life in our planet's history? Welcome to the Cambrian period. This is the Time Traveler Zoo. Picture Earth 540 million years ago. The land is completely barren. No trees, no grass, no animals, just endless rock and dust. But beneath the waves, something is brewing. The oceans, once starved of oxygen, are now getting a fresh supply. And in these newly oxygenated waters, life, which had been stuck in first gear for billions of years, is about to flourish. For eons, during a time we call the Precambrian, life was simple. Think microbial mats and jellyfish-like blobs. They had a limited genetic toolkit, like trying to build a city with only a hammer and a few nails. The world was stable but stagnant. Then, in the geological blink of an eye, everything changed. This wasn't just evolution. It was a revolution. The Cambrian Explosion. What caused it? A perfect storm of factors. Rising oxygen levels provided the fuel for more active bodies. The genetic toolkit suddenly expanded, giving evolution new Lego bricks to play with. But the real game changer, the invention of sight. The first true eyes appeared, turning the ocean from a blurry, passive world into a high-definition arena of hunter and hunted. The age of predators had begun, and the rules of life would never be the same. So, let's meet some of the stars of this ancient drama. First up, the undisputed icon of the Paleozoic era, the Trilobite. These weren't just simple bugs crawling in the mud. Trilobites were the kings of the Cambrian seafloor. Encased in intricate, articulated armor made of calcite, the same mineral that forms limestone, there were living tanks. There were thousands of different species, from tiny scavengers to larger, predatory forms. But their real superpower was their eyes. Trilobites developed some of the first complex, compound eyes on the planet, each lens a single, perfectly formed crystal. They could see their world with a clarity no creature had ever experienced before, allowing them to spot danger and find food with deadly efficiency. They were so successful, they would go on to survive for nearly 300 million years. Now, from the iconic to the utterly bizarre, meet Hallucigenia. When scientists first found its fossil, they were so baffled they named it after hallucination. For decades, they thought it walked on its spiky spines and fed with tentacles on its back. We literally had it upside down and backwards. We now know those legs were actually defensive spines, and it walked on delicate, clawed, fleshy stilts. We're still not entirely sure what it ate or how it lived, but this spiky, dreamlike worm shows just how experimental life was during the Cambrian. It's a creature so strange, it feels like it crawled out of a science fiction novel, yet it was a very real inhabitant of our own planet's past. But every drama needs a villain. Every ecosystem needs an apex predator. And in the Cambrian seas, that role belonged to one animal, Anomalocaris. Its name means abnormal shrimp, and that's putting it mildly. This was the great white shark of its time. Reaching up to 1 meter long, which was gigantic for the period, Anomalocaris was a terror. It had 2 large, stalked compound eyes, giving it 360-degree vision. At the front of its head were 2 formidable, spiny, grasping arms, perfect for snatching prey. And its mouth. It wasn't a jaw, but a circular, nightmarish pineapple ring of sharp plates that could crush the shells of trilobites. For millions of years, if you were a creature in the Cambrian Ocean, Anomalocaris was your worst nightmare. It was fast, it was huge, and it was a ruthlessly efficient killing machine. So why does this menagerie of ancient oddballs matter? Peers, the Cambrian Explosion wasn't just about creating cool new monsters. It was the moment that life's fundamental rules were written. The appearance of predators like Anomalocaris and the evolution of eyes-on trilobites ignited an evolutionary arms race. Think about it. Once one animal can see, every other animal needs a defense. So, you get armor. Then the predator needs a way to crush that armor, so you get stronger claws or mouths. Chew. In response, the prey needs to get faster, or better at hiding, or develop sharper spines. Eyes versus armor. Speed versus stealth. This frantic life-or-death competition drove an unprecedented burst of diversification. In just a few tens of millions of years, nearly every major animal body plan that exists today appeared. From the ancestors of insects and crustaceans to the first Campbell chordate screeches, with a primitive backbone, which includes our own distant, wormy relatives. This was life's great experiment. Many of these designs, like the weirdness of Hallucigenia, were evolutionary dead ends, body plans that would never be seen again. The ones that worked the survivors of this brutal biological arms race laid the groundwork for everything that followed. They established the very structure of ecosystems, with producers, herbivores, and predators. Thus they created the blueprint for vertebrates, for the eventual invasion of land, and ultimately, for us. The Cambrian wasn't just a moment in time. It was the biological Big Bang that created the architecture of the animal kingdom. The echoes of this 500-million-year-old explosion still resonate in the DNA of every animal on Earth today. It proves that for life to truly flourish, it needs more than just a peaceful world. It needs conflict, competition, and a little bit of terror. But the arms race was just getting started. What happens when those tiny backbones evolve into powerful jaws? Next time on Time Traveler Zoo. We're jumping forward 150 million years to a world ruled by armored flesh-eating giants. Welcome to the Devonian, the Age of Fissures. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time. What was your favorite Cambrian creature? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to like this video, subscribe to Time Traveler Zoo, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next prehistoric adventure. See you in the Devonian.